Hi, have you ever watched a street busking show and think, wow, I wish I could do that? Well, that's what you're here to learn. It's not a matter of just throwing some routines together and taking to the streets. To make it happen, there is design, what we call formula. My name's James the Tartan Trickster, and this short video is all about using formula to create your very own busking show. As a working magician, you probably have a strong act, whether that's stage, stand-up or close-up. You may wish to add busking to your stable of abilities and be able to take to the streets anywhere, at any time, and leave with a hat full of gold. Well, we're here to tell you that it is possible, can be lucrative, and is a skill that you can learn. It all comes down to formula. Before we get to it though, it should be understood that you have a strong act, strong enough material, and have some what we call performing chops. Anyway, here's the basics of formula. Make them stop, make them stay, make them watch, and make them pay. You'll notice that I say make them. Well, that's the mental attitude that you should have, that your stuff is too important to miss, and that you are a commanding presence, and that they should watch you. I mean, there's no space for any wishy-washy bollocks here. I mean, you are the man. Well, everything has a beginning, middle, and an end. A street show is no different. It's just that those things are in different places from what you would expect. Let me explain. Your show starts from the very second that you lay out your props, hit your stick, and it sure as hell doesn't start when you attract your first spectator. You have to be doing something to attract attention, whether that's spewing forth with patter, banging a stick, or laying out your props on the ground. All this serves to make your presence known, and sooner or later you will have someone stop and take interest. Now you have your first spectator, and you're in the process now of building a crowd. Yes, a crowd. Engage that person in conversation. Remark on something they've said. Get them to inspect something. Ask a question. Do or say almost anything to keep that person on the hook. I mean, you could also tell them that you're about to start a show. The magic you do here is to keep those who have stopped interested and use their very presence to attract more people. Let me ask you a question. In your normal performing environment, do you do a ta-da moment to get the applause? Does your audience clap on cue? Well, you best leave all those cues at home. It can be a death knell for a street show. If your audience claps at the end of a routine, it's not so good. It could signify the end and people will leave. No, you want them to stay and help build a bigger crowd. Bigger crowd equals bigger energy. Bigger energy, bigger experience, bigger memory, and more dollars in your hat. Please forgive my cynicism, but after 13 years of working the streets, I do get the underlying tenets of crowd dynamics and pack mentality. And sometimes I think, meh, sheep. But sheep that will stay and watch. Working a street show is more than just your routining and your presentation. It's about making a disparate group of strangers turn into an audience. A group of people that all behave the same, think the same, and act the same. So you'll be doing several things all throughout your show. It's by your confidence in your presentation, your interaction, and your audience management that draws them to keep watching. And that's what you want. As well as performing your routines, you'll need to get this new audience to commit to you. And here's a simple trick. Ask them all to move towards you one step. This serves to have them stand closer, which helps tremendously when it comes time for them to pay. For if they all act the same, more will come to the hat at the end and show their gratitude. And let's face it, we all want to get paid. I mean, why else would we do street shows? Or is that me just being too cynical again? Possibly. And that's it, more or less. The formula. What effects or routines you use to flesh it out, I will leave to you. Me, I was taught by Gazzo, and I've toured the world for 13 years doing A, what he taught me, and B, not changing it much. Why? Because it works. What I've learned and taken from the streets is a life well lived, and made any stage time I have even more powerful For if you can make them stop, stay, watch and pay, doing a paid gig becomes so much easier. Try it and you'll see. So you've got your show, you're branching out and you need a piece of concrete to work on. Well, that'll be discussed on our next video. Oh, and if you have any questions, please just ask below. A fuller exposition of what we've shared on this video can be read down below as well. My name's James the Tarn and Trickster for Magic News Television, and also Mario. Awesome guy, awesome dude. Thanks for watching, thanks for visiting. Speak to you soon.